Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Zahrabdoor. I am doing teacher training at Rehan School Islamabad campus. Today I am going to have our text with ChatGPT. I hope you will like our discussion. So let's get started. Hello ChatGPT.
Hey, I can hear you loud and clear. What's on your mind today?
ChatGPT, I have a few questions for you in English. May I ask you?
Absolutely. Go right ahead. I'm here for all your questions.
Okay, my first question for you is
I'm ready. What's your first question?
okay, please wait.
Of course, take your time and whenever you're ready, just ask your question.
Yes.
All right, I'm with you. Whenever you're ready,
My first question for you is what is failure?
failure is basically when something doesn't go as planned or when you don't achieve your goal. But it's also a natural part of learning and growth. It's how we figure out what works and what doesn't.
Okay, my next question, second question for you is why do people fear failure?
Great question. People fear failure because it can mean rejection, disappointment, or feeling like they didn't meet expectations, either their own or others. It's kind of tied to our need for acceptance and success, but it helps to remember that failure is just a step in the process.
Is failure a part of life?
Absolutely. It really is. Everyone faces it at some point. It's kind of like a universal experience. It doesn't mean something is wrong, it's just part of growth, learning, and ultimately living a full life.
Can failure teach us lessons?
Oh, definitely. Failure teaches us resilience, problem solving, and what doesn't work. It gives us insight into ourselves and helps us adapt. So, in a way, failure is like a great teacher.
What can we learn from mistakes?
We can learn so much. Mistakes show us where we might have misunderstood something or where we improve, help us develop new strategies and build better habits. Basically, mistakes are feedback that help us grow.
How can failure make us stronger?
Well, when we face failure and keep going, it builds our mental strength and resilience. We learn how to handle setbacks, manage emotions, and develop a sense of perseverance. So each time you overcome failure, you're kind of leveling up your life skills.
Why should we not give up after failure?
Because failure is usually temporary and success often comes after multiple attempts. By not giving up, you give yourself a chance to learn, improve, and eventually achieve what you set out to do. Plus, the journey builds a ton of character.
How can failure improve our skills?
Failure gives direct feedback on what needs improvement. When something doesn't work, you figure out what to adjust or try differently. Over time, those lessons sharpen your skill, make you more competent in what you're doing.
What is a feedback?
Feedback is basically information or reactions about your actions or performance. It can be positive or constructive, and it helps you understand how you're doing and what to improve. In short, it's like a guide to get better.
Can failure lead to success?
Yes, absolutely. Failure often shows you what doesn't work so you can refine your approach. Many successful people have failed multiple times before reaching success.
क्या
So failure is really part of the
फाइवर
journey.
फाइवर क्या होता है?
Of course, I'm glad I could help. If you ever have more questions, let me know.
Why is a positive mindset important?
A positive mindset helps you stay motivated, reduces stress, and makes it easier to overcome challenges. It shapes how you interpret setbacks so you're more likely to find solutions and enjoy the journey.
How can we stay hopeful after failure? Please give me a long answer.
Staying hopeful after failure comes down to a few things. First, remind yourself that failure is temporary, not a permanent state. Focus on what you can control, your effort, your attitude, your next step. Keep perspective. Failure is often a stepping stone, not a final destination. Surround yourself with supportive people, practice self compassion, and celebrate small wins along. Over time, that mindset of growth and possibility keeps hope alive.
What is resilience?
Resilience is basically your ability to bounce back from challenges, setbacks, or adversity. It's the capacity to adapt, recover, and keep going even when things get tough. In short, it's your inner strength to keep moving forward.
How can build resilience?
You can build resilience by developing a growth mindset, seeing challenges as opportunities to learn. Also, build strong social connections, practice self care, set realistic goals, and reflect on past successes. Over time, these habits help you handle stress more effectively.
Why do successful people fail many times?
They fail because they take risks, try new things, and push boundaries. Not everything works out, but each failure gives them insight, experience, and resilience. They treat failure as part of the journey, not the end, and that mindset keeps them moving towards success.
What should we do after making a mistakes?
After making a mistake, first acknowledge it without judgment, reflect on what happened and what you can learn, then make a plan to fix it or avoid it in the future, and finally give yourself some grace and move forward with action.
Okay, my next question for you is how can we learn from our error?
We learn from our errors by reflecting on them with honesty, what went wrong, why it happened, and what could be. You can also seek back, identify patterns, and apply those lessons to future actions. In the end, errors are just opportunities to refine your approach.
Question for you is uh,
I'm ready. Go ahead with your next question whenever you're ready.
can failure build confidence?
Absolutely. When you face failure, learn from it, and still move forward, you prove to yourself that you can handle setbacks. Each time you overcome difficulty, your confidence builds because you realize you're more capable than you thought.
Why is partiness important in a hard time?
Persistence is crucial because tough times can test you. When you keep going, even when it's hard, you give yourself a chance to achieve what you want. Persistence helps you push through obstacles, build strength, and eventually reach your goals.
How can failure change our thinking?
Failure teaches us to adapt our expectations, to be more flexible, and to rethink our strategies. It shows us what we value and what really matters. Ultimately, it can shift our mindset, making us more patient, resourceful, and appreciative of the journey.
What role does effort play in success?
Effort is the engine of progress. Talent or luck can only take you so far. Consistent effort, even when things are tough, turns knowledge into skills and dreams into reality. In short, effort bridges the gap between failure and eventual success.
How can we turn problems into
We
opportunities?
Exactly. We shift our mindset to view problems as puzzles or opportunities, then break them down, focus on what you can control, and take action step by step. That way, challenges become something you can actively solve.
Why is self belief important after failure?
Self belief is like your anchor. After failure, it helps you keep faith in your abilities and potential. It reminds you that one setback doesn't define you. With self belief, you're more likely to take risks, try again, and keep pursuing your goals.
How can teacher help students learn from failure?
Teachers can create a safe, supportive environment where failure is seen as normal and part of learning. They can offer constructive feedback, encourage reflection, and share their own stories of failure. When students see failure as a tool for growth, they're more willing to take risks and learn from it.
Can failure help us grow?
Absolutely. Failure often pushes us out of our comfort zone, makes us more self aware, and teaches us resilience and patience. Each failure can reveal strengths, weaknesses, and new directions, helping us grow into more capable individuals.
What is the difference between failure and quitting?
Failure is an event or a result that didn't meet your goal. Quitting, on the other hand, is when you stop trying altogether. Failure can be a temporary setback, while quitting is stopping the whole journey. So, failure is a learning step, quitting is giving up on growth.
Okay, my next question for you is where should we try again after failing?
You should try again because every attempt builds more experience, refines your approach, and brings you closer to success. Failure doesn't mean you're incapable, it just means you're learning. Trying again opens the door to new opportunities and ultimately achievement.
Okay, my next question for you is how is the lessons behind every mistakes?
Resilience is the inner strength that helps you endure challenges, maintain hope, and bounce back from setbacks. Even when you fail, resilience lets you keep going, learn from the experience, and continue working toward your. It's the fuel that keeps you moving forward.
How can we control negative targets?
You can control negative thoughts by noticing them without judgment, challenging them with more balanced, realistic thoughts, and focusing on what you can control. You can also practice mindfulness, reframe challenges as growth opportunities, and engage in positive self talk. Over time, that helps reduce negativity.
Okay, how can failure improve designs making?
Failure provides real world feedback. When something doesn't work, you identify what needs tweaking. Exactly. So, failure really refines your designs, helping you innovate and make them even better next time. It's like design evolution.
Why is coverage important after failure?
Courage is what allows you to face uncertainty again, even after you've been knocked down. It's what pushes you to take another step, try again, and keep going despite fear of failure. Without courage, growth and progress would be really hard.
How can friends support us in hard time?
Failure can support us by showing us what doesn't work so we don't waste energy on the wrong approach. It also builds emotional strength, helping us handle future hardships with more wisdom and resilience. In short, failure gives us the tools to grow stronger.
Can failure teach responsibility?
Absolutely. When you fail, you often realize your role in what happened, what you did or didn't do. It encourages accountability, ownership of your actions, and thoughtful planning in the future, so you take responsibility for your growth.
How does failure build characters?
Failure challenges you to keep going when things are tough. It builds perseverance, self discipline, and humility. Each time you overcome a failure, you strengthen your character, patience, and resolve. In short, failure is a character building workout.
Why should we accept our mistakes?
Exactly. When we accept that mistakes and failures are natural, it frees us to take risks, learn, and grow. By accepting them, we remove fear of failure and open the door to progress and success.
How can journaling help after failure?
Your mind can help by reframing the failure as a temporary setback, not a permanent identity. It can remind you of your strengths, focus on what you can control, and set new small goals. Essentially, your mind can guide you toward growth rather than staying stuck.
What is the power of reflection?
The power of reflection is that it helps you process experiences. By thinking about what worked, what didn't, and why, you gain insights and wisdom. It's like a mental pause that helps you make better decisions and improve in the future.
How can failure inspire gravity?
Failure can inspire creativity because it forces you to think outside the box. When the usual paths don't work, you start exploring new ideas, approaches, and solutions. In that sense, failure can be a spark for innovation.
Why is learning important in downtime?
Learning in downtime is important because it helps you grow even when you're not in active pursuit of a goal. It builds skills, resilience, and perspective so when opportunities or challenges come back, you're ready and even stronger.
How can we stay motivated after losing?
You can stay motivated by focusing on the bigger purpose or why you started. Celebrate small wins, break goals into manageable steps, and remind yourself that setbacks are just part of the journey. Connecting with supportive people also keeps your spirits up.
Can failure teach leadership?
Absolutely, failure can teach leadership by showing you how to take responsibility, make tough decisions, and guide others through challenges. It develops empathy, humility, and the ability to inspire. others, even in tough times. In short, leading through failure builds true leadership.
Why do athletes learn from losses?
You learn from losses by reflecting on what happened, identifying what you can improve, and adjusting your approach next time. It builds self awareness, resilience, and strategy. In fact, losses can be some of the most powerful teachers for future success.
How can failure make us humble?
Failure humbles us by showing that we don't have all the answers and that we're not invincible. It reminds us of our limitations, fosters empathy for others, and keeps us grounded. In that humility, there's often a lot of growth.
What is growth mindset?
A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be learning and persistence. Instead of seeing challenges as fixed, you see them as opportunities to grow. It's all about progress over perfection.
How can we develop a growth mindset?
You can develop it by embracing challenges, viewing failures as learning opportunities, and putting in effort without fear of mistakes. Also, seek feedback, focus on progress over perfection, and celebrate growth steps along the way.
Why is feedback important after failure?
Feedback is crucial because it gives you specific, actionable insights on what to improve. Without it, you might just repeat the same mistakes. With feedback, you can refine, adjust, and grow, making future success more likely.
How can avoid perfecting mistakes?
You can't avoid mistakes entirely, and that's okay, but you can reduce them by planning, learning from past experiences, seeking feedback early, and double checking your work. Also, being open to adjusting your approach helps you catch mistakes early.
What is the rule of hard work in overcoming failure?
The rule of 90-10 is that 90% of failure comes from the way you react to it, and only 10% from the actual event. In other words, your mindset and response play a huge role in how failure affects you and how you grow from it.
Okay, my next question for you is how can failure teach time management?
Failure often highlights where you spent time inefficiently or where you could have prioritized differently. When you reflect, you realize what tasks matter most, what to delegate, and how to plan better. In the future, you manage your time more purposefully.
Why should we forgive ourselves?
We should forgive ourselves because self compassion is key to growth. Holding on to guilt can paralyze you, but forgiveness frees you to learn and move forward. It builds resilience and allows you to embrace future opportunities without being weighed down.
How can failure improve problem solving?
Failure gives you direct practice in problem solving. You figure out what went wrong, test new solutions, and refine your approach. Each failure gives you more tools, more creativity, and more insight for the next challenge.
Can failure make us wiser?
Yes, it can. When you fail, you learn what doesn't work, which helps you approach future situations more thoughtfully. It builds emotional intelligence, patience, and a clearer understanding of yourself, making you wiser and more balanced.
Where is learning from experience important?
It's super important. Experience, whether success or failure, gives you real world lessons that you just can't get from theory alone. It builds intuition, confidence, and wisdom, helping you make better choices in the future.
How can failure help in future planning?
Failure helps you plan by showing you what pitfalls to avoid. It gives you data on what works and what doesn't, so you can set more realistic goals, prepare contingency plans, and be more strategic. In short, it's like a roadmap for smarter future decisions.
What can students learn from exam failure?
Students can learn a lot. They learn what study methods work best, where they need more practice, and how to manage time and stress. It also builds resilience, helping them approach future challenges with better strategies.
Where should we stay calm after failure?
We should stay calm because panic clouds judgment and makes it harder to learn or move forward. Staying calm helps you think clearly, reflect on the situation, and respond with intention. In fact, calmness is a superpower in navigating failure.
How can failure increase determination?
Failure can increase patience because it teaches you that success doesn't happen instantly. It builds endurance as you realize you might need to go step by step, persist, and give it time. Overcoming failures nurtures that inner patience and long term perspective.
What habits help us recover from setbacks?
Habits like self reflection, self care, setting small achievable goals, maintaining routines, and staying connected with supportive people really help. They give you stability, structure, and emotional strength as you recover and move forward.
Okay, my next question for you is,
Go ahead with your next question whenever you're ready.
how can we turn weakness into strength?
You can turn weaknesses into strengths by first acknowledging them, then working on them deliberately. You can also leverage them. Sometimes a weakness, when understood, can become a unique strength, plus persistence and learning help you grow those areas over time.
What is self improvement?
Self improvement is the ongoing process of yourself. It involves setting goals, learning new skills, reflecting on your habits, and actively growing in areas that matter to you.
How can those failure encourage self importance?
Failure can increase self importance by helping you see your own values, strengths, and the things you truly care about. It gives you a deeper sense of purpose and reminds you that you matter because you're growing, striving, and contributing even in the face of setbacks.
Why should we never stop trying?
You should never stop trying because growth, discovery, and success often come after multiple attempts. Each effort builds resilience, learning, and opportunities you might not have imagined. In short, every try is a step forward.
How can mentors guide us after failure?
You can draw strength by reframing the failure, focusing on what you've learned, connecting with your why, and remembering past challenges you've overcome. Also, practicing self compassion and leaning on supportive people can reignite your courage.
Can failure teach teamwork?
Definitely, failure can teach teamwork by showing where communication, collaboration, or support could be improved. It encourages reflection as a team, helping everyone trust, adapt, and grow together. In fact, it can.
Where experience better than fear?
I'd say both are valuable. Experience is richer because it combines knowledge with real life, but failure is a unique kind of experience. It teaches you firsthand what works and what doesn't. So, failure is a powerful, specific teacher within your overall life experience.
How can failure help in career growth?
Failure can help you grow by providing honest feedback, forcing you to adapt, and showing you what you're truly capable of. It builds resilience, self awareness, and humility, ultimately shaping you into a more capable, wiser person.
What is emotional strength?
Emotional strength is your ability to handle stress, setbacks, and emotions in a healthy, balanced way. It's about grounded, managing emotions actively, and bouncing back from challenges with resilience and a positive mindset.
Okay, ChatGPT. Nice. That's great answer.
I'm really glad you found it helpful. Anytime you need more answers or just want to chat, I'm here.
ChatGPT. These were my all questions. Thank you for asking.
You're so welcome. I'm really glad we could chat through them. Anytime you have more, just let me know.
So we were this one is by ChatGPT. Thank you. I hope you like